First day of school, first grade. A 6-year-old Thomas Cobb is called down to the office. When he gets down to the office, the secretary says, "Thomas, your speech therapist is here." This is the room where it all started. Over the next 10 years, I saw a numerous amount of speech therapists and psychologists, voice specialists, whether it was at school or at my house. Over a decade of speech therapy, I realized that the most important thing is being able to embrace your imperfections and quirks and not letting them define you, but at the same time, letting them flow through you and be a part of you just like you would with any other uniqueness. For those of you that don't know, I was diagnosed with childhood onset fluency disorder. This is a disorder where I'm unable to say certain vowels and syllables with consistency. My vocal cords tighten up sometimes and I'll sort of stammer or stutter. It's commonly referred to as a stutter. So I have a stutter. And if you hear me talking, if you're talking to me, you can probably hear it in my voice sometimes. It's just nothing major. It's just a little stutter. It's kind of cute, actually. But whenever I talk about it, I try and hold back on being negative about it. And I'll get to that in a minute. But first, let's look at some of the most famous people that have what I have, that have stutters. Martin Luther King Jr., one of the most famous speakers of all time. Sam Smith, one of the most famous and successful artists of all time. Samuel L. Jackson, one of the, and if not the most famous actors of all time. And it's just astonishing to me that these people have what I have, and these people use their voice every day, and that just means so much to me, that my people are doing what they can, they're doing the best they can with what they have. But the one that stuck out to me the most was James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones is the voice of Darth Vader in Star Wars, and as a longtime diehard Star Wars fan, this is one that means the most to me. This quote from James Earl Jones says, "One of the hardest things in life is having words in your heart that you can't utter." And that is so meaningful to me because it's so true to my situation, and I can really relate to it because when I feel a stutter coming on, I have to abort mission and divert from what I was going to originally say. And that can be really frustrating, like extremely, extremely aggravating to not be able to say words that you want to say, that you have had in your heart all this time. This is the path of a conversation. You see and hear, you tell a story, you feel, and you act. People hear my stutter, I tell them what it is. And to me, this third stage, this feel stage, is the most important to me. Because whenever I'm talking about my stutter, this feel stage is under my control. I can either say, this is what I have and it sucks. Or I can say, this is what I have and it's awesome. This is who it allows me to be. This is who I am. And I let it, be a part of me. And when I do that, the whole trajectory of that conversation is going this way now, rather than it being a sort of dark, depressing, I don't want to talk about it kind of thing. But I always make sure to be positive about it and turn sort of a dark thing of my life into something that I can talk about with ease, and it sort of proves as a learning experience for most people that I talk to. This relates a lot to this quote from Albus Dumbledore from Harry Potter. I'm also a huge Harry Potter fan. Call me a nerd, I don't care. He says, "Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light." And once again, that really relates to me because I always refrain from being negative about my stutter. And my attitude has always been, why would I be ashamed of something that I can't control? I'll have my stutter for the rest of my life, and I can't control that. So why would I be ashamed about something that is completely out of my hands? And instead, let me be positive about it. And that gradual shift in my mindset has been key to my sort of upspringing confidence over the last decade. And rather than, having it be sort of a dark nugget from my life, have it be sort of this happy, positive thing that I can learn from. This is my dark. I found the light.